Now the applications of different king bearing materials. You see that the stronger materials we use for heavy-duty bearings and for diesel direct injection bearings and heavy loaded high-performance engines like K796 GP bearings. These are three different high-performance bearings. HP, which is aluminum-based materials containing silicon. XP, this is the bearings that I showed, tri-metal bearings for high-performance application. And GP, you see the load carrying capacity is maximum of GP, the lower load carrying capacity of XP bearings, etc. But the anti-frictional properties of the first two materials are higher because they are softer. Also, the temperature, maximum work temperature, you see the GP bearings has the maximum level of work temperature as compared to other bearing materials, more than 500 Fahrenheit. The polymer coatings, it's good. It eliminates or reduces metal-to-metal contact. It promotes conforming of the bearing surface to the crankshaft surface. It has good anti-frictional properties, very good seizure resistance, and a low coefficient of friction. But coatings may be sacrificial layer, particularly in street cars. It is sacrificial layer. It's not constant. It is not bearing material. It is not exactly bearing material. It's something between bearing material to lubricant. And coating, if it is removed by friction, the bearing clearance is increased by the value of the coating thickness. So we recommend coating thickness not to exceed 0.4 inch. Now the engine factors determining the load applied to the bearing. This compression ratio, the higher compression ratio, the higher pressure, and the higher load applied to the bearing. Octane number and fuel type, which different fuels with different octane number allows to work with different levels of compression ratio. So, for example, methanol has a maximum 16 compression ratio, so it is different from compression ratio 10. The pressure is high and the load to bearing is higher. This displacement per cylinder, engine type, this different type, different effect of diesel engine and gasoline engine. Aspiration type, if you have turbocharged, supercharged engine, it intakes more air, so you can intake more fuel, so the energy discharged in the cylinder is higher and the load applied to the bearing is higher. Bore diameter, the higher the bore diameter, the higher load, because load is a result of the pressure and the area. And also rotation speed of the piston and connecting rod and their weights, they determine the inertial forces, and so they affect the bearing loading. And bearing dimensions, if you have large diameter and long bearing, the specific load applied to this bearing is low. We are using our developed software which is able to calculate, theoretically calculate the load applied to the bearings. If we have input parameters like this, and we have engine bearing parameters, we can calculate the combustion pressure, we can calculate the inertial forces, and we can calculate the load applied to the bearing. So we can optimize the bearing parameters using this, and to select the proper bearing materials using this software. This is our test rig machine that we are using for testing our new materials and our currently produced materials. This machine simulates the conditions in the real engines. It means cycle loading, but loading is controlled. So we can predetermine conditions of the test. These are the result of testing. You see different types of materials. Well, for example, this material, you see fatigue on this area. You see also fatigue cracks on the overlay of trimetal material. You see this bearing with no fatigue signs. This is another example. Fatigue on the aluminum surface. And these are two bearings made of high-strength aluminum. They were tested at very high load, but there is no fatigue. This bearing was tested with contaminated oil. You see the particles embedded in the aluminum surface. This is a very interesting test, also made in this machine, in the test rig. The two different materials were tested at mixed lubrication conditions. And you see here the temperature versus time. The temperature of the bearing back. For example, this material, this is trimetal material. When the oil was disconnected and it was the regime of mixed lubrication started at this point, the bearing back temperature increases. It stabilized at about 180 Fahrenheit with some peaks which indicate pre-seizure conditions. But when the load was increased, immediately seizure occurs and the bearing was stuck in the machine. The totally different behavior was with the aluminum silicon bearing, which is our HP bearing. Okay, every increase of load results in small increase of temperature, but no seizure occurs. This is the effect of silicon particles that I told before. The silicon polishes the surface of the journal and prevents seizure. This is the very interesting effect. Now, the main causes of bearing failure, first of all, wrong selection of the bearing materials, or maybe fuel detonation or advanced ignitions, which causes increased pressure in the cylinder. Running the engine under high loads at low speeds. This is climbing regime. When the car is climbing, the torque is high and the speed is low. This is very bad condition for bearing materials because the load is maximum. Poor conforming of bearing back with housing surface, oil starvation, corrosion, improper finishing of housing bore or improperly ground journal, and different types of geometric defects. These are the examples of bearing failures. You see fatigue on the overlay, the small cracks on the overlay. By the way, fatigue of the overlay is not so bad as it's seen. This process is not catastrophic. If there is some cracks on the overlay, the bearing may continue to work and may continue to work pretty good time. It is different from the fatigue of lining, aluminum lining or copper-based intermediate. If there is a fatigue of copper-based like this, it looks like cratering on the surface. You see craters of particles of the copper-based intermediate are delaminated from the surface. It is very bad. It is catastrophic failure. The same aluminum. You see heavily fatigued aluminum lining with the parts of the lining delaminated from the surface, flaked off from the surface. Here you can see the metal-to-metal contact, mixed lubrication, or maybe even boundary lubrication. This is the initial stage of boundary lubrication, and this is the final stage. Here, overlay is gone, copper is gone, and steel is burned. So it's very bad failure. The end of twisted connecting rod, the load applied in an area, specific area, on edge area, for example, all the load. So, because all the load applied to this area, the specific load is high, and you see here the cracks of fatigue. And imperfect journal geometry. This case is hourglass grinding of the journal. So you see edge loading from both sides. And this is the cavitation erosion. These areas are eroded. Actually, there is no overlay here. It is gone by the erosion resulted from closing up of bubbles forming in the oil. When the pressure changes very sharp. And this is overlay migration. You see parts of the overlay that was taken from one area and then stick to the other area of the bearing. Now the engine bearing material selection. First of all, maximum specific load applied to the bearing. If you don't know it, we can calculate, or other bearing manufacturer may calculate, or maybe know the load applied to the bearing. You should take about 10–15% safety factor. The second factor, crankshaft material. As I said, aluminum thin silicone bearings are more compatible to modular cast iron crankshafts. They are better than aluminum alloy without silicone. They are better than tri-metal bearings with thin overlay. Possible misalignments and distortions. If you know that misalignments and distortions are geometrical defects are large, the materials with thin overlay are not compatible for this application, because overlay will come out fast, and then the copper intermediate layer is exposed. And as I said, copper has very, very bad compatibility with steel. It welds to steel, so seizure is quite possible. And the minimum oil film thickness is very low, lower than 60 millionths of inch. The mixed lubrication regime occurs frequently. It means that if you have tri-metal bearings with thin overlay, there is some risk that the overlay will be removed from the bearing and the copper will be exposed. The bearing installation issues. It is simple. Presence of foreign materials between the bearing back and the housing is important. Reverse position of upper and lower parts. It is a very common mistake. Dry start. By the way, if you have polymer coating, dry start may work. Misalignments and distortions. Presence of abrasive particles on the shaft surface or within the oil passages, the abrasive particles after grinding. Out of shape grinding of the crankshaft, taper, barrel-shaped, hourglass. And other grinding defects like chatter marks, waviness on the shafts. I know this defect is not always visible, but it breaks completely the hydrodynamic regime of bearing, and bearing doesn't work at all if there are some waves on the journal surface. Thank you for your attention.